Hello everyone, it's past 8 o'clock and welcome to another episode of Salt of the Earth, a program by Catholic Syro-Malabar Eparchy of Great Britain. We have been bringing you Life of Saints every week and we have been receiving hundreds of responses after every episode. And we really thank you for that. The regular viewers might be familiar with the program structure, but now for the new viewers, here is how the program is arranged. Please listen to the life of the saint carefully, take notes and embrace it. Towards the end of the show, we ask you 5 questions. The first correct respondent will receive the prize. The format to send the answers is now on the screen. The number to send your answer is also on the screen. Please use the format question 1 to 5. Question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your full name and the name of your mission. Now, let's look at last week's questions and answers.
Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Salt of the Earth. Today we are seeing the life of Saint Gemma Galgani, also known as the Flower of Lucca, was an Italian mystic, often referred to as the daughter of passion for her intense replication of the Passion of Christ. She was born on March 12, 1878 in a small Italian town near Lucca. At a very young age, Gemma developed a love for prayer. She made her first communion on June 17, 1887. Gemma was loved by her teachers and her fellow students as a student at a school run by the Sisters of St. Zita. Though quiet and reserved, she always had a smile for everyone. Unfortunately, Gemma had to quit school due to her chronic ill health before completing the course of study. Throughout her life, Gemma was to be chosen with many mystical experiences and special graces. These were often misunderstood by others, causing ridicule. Gemma had an immense love for the poor and helped them in any way she could. After her father's death, the 19-year-old Gemma became the mother figure for her 7 brothers and sisters. When some of her siblings became old enough to share the responsibility, Gemma went to live briefly with a married aunt. At this time, 2 young men proposed marriage to her. However, Gemma refused because she wanted silence, retirement, and more than ever, she desired to pray and speak only to God. Gemma returned home and almost immediately became very ill with meningitis. Throughout the illness, her one regret was the trouble she caused her relatives who took care of her. Gemma predicted that the Passionists would establish a monastery at Lucca. This came to pass 2 years after her death. Today, Gemma's relics remain at the Passionist monastery in Lucca. On June 8, 1899, Gemma had an internal warning that some unusual grace was to be granted to her. She felt pain and blood coming from her hands, feet, and heart. These were the marks of the stigmata. Each Thursday evening, Gemma would fall into rapture and the marks would appear. Such marks, called the stigmata in the language of the Catholic Church, refers to the appearance of the wounds of the crucified Jesus Christ appearing on the bodies of some men and women whose lives are so conformed to His that they reflect those wounds of redemptive love for others. The stigmata remained until Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. When the bleeding would stop, the wounds would close and only white marks would remain in place of the deep gashes. Gemma's stigmata would continue to appear until her confessor or through her prayers, the phenomenon ceased, but the white marks remained on her skin until her death. Through the help of her father confessor, Gemma went off to live with another family where she was allowed more freedom for her spiritual life than she was at home. She was frequently found in a state of ecstasy, and on one occasion she was believed to have levitated. Her words spoken during her ecstasies were recorded by her confessor and a relative from her adoptive family. At the end of her ecstasies, she returned to normal and carried on quietly and serenely. Gemma often saw her guardian angel. She sent her guardian angel on errands, usually to deliver a letter or oral message to her confessor in Rome. During the apostolic investigations into her life, all witnesses testified that there was no artfulness in Gemma's manner. Most of her severe penances and sacrifices were hidden from most who knew her. In January of 1903, Gemma was diagnosed with tuberculosis. At the start of Holy Week in 1903, Gemma began suffering greatly. She died at the age of 25 on Holy Saturday. The parish priest in her company said, "She died with a smile which remained upon her lips so that I could not convince myself that she was really dead." Saint Gemma Galgani was beatified on May 14, 1933 by Pope Pius XI and canonized on May 2, 1940, only 37 years after her death, by Pope Pius XII. She is the patron saint against temptations, against the death of parents, against tuberculosis, of students, and of pharmacists, and we celebrate her feast day on the 11th of April. So let us find out what we have in the mystery box today. Today we have a New Testament, a small version of it, the Word of God. We know Saint Gemma Galgani was a person who treasured prayer throughout her life, who loved silence. In our silence, we meet God. The Word of God that we have, the New Testament, the four Gospels, that speaks to us. Every time when we read the Word of God, it gives you a different message. Every day, we should read the Word of God, meditate on them, and that will help us in our life. God speaks through His Word, and the Word we know is Jesus Christ. So now it is time for us to know what are the questions. May God bless you all. Question number 1. In what year was Gemma Galgani born? The second question is, how old was Gemma when her father passed away? Question number 3. Where did Gemma predict Passionists to establish a monastery? Question number 4. Who delivered Gemma's oral messages to her confessor in Rome? Last and final question. How old was Gemma when she passed away?
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Stay safe, stay blessed. Thank you.